of my dream.
And welcome back to the Georgia Elite 8 Tip-Off Classic. Second matchup of the day is going to feature the North Cobb Christian School Eagles taking on the Canes of Cartersville High School. Starting lineups being introduced for Cartersville. You will have number 1, Perignon Dyer, and number 3, Dante Bryan, number 10, Cameron Whitfield, number 11, Jalen Pugh, and number 23, Isaac Gridley on the North Cobb Christian School side of things. Their starters will be number 1, Miles Hamilton, number 23, Will Crumley, number 24, Mo Merritt, number 30, Hunter Norman, and number 35, Demir Brown. North Cobb Christian head coached by Greg Mata. On the Cartersville side of things, you've got head coach Mike Tobin. So, two very good high school coaches, not only in that area when you look at Cobb County, but going up further towards Bartow, but also in the state there in Tobin and Mata. We've tipped this one off. Doesn't take long for our first pack of cookies to be taken, and that's an easy layup on the other end there for number 10. That's Cam Whitfield with the scoop and the score. So it is Cartersville that strikes first. Three-pointer on the way from the southpaw. Ice cream, an early splash there for number 35, the aforementioned Demir Brown. Brown definitely a player to keep an eye on throughout this matchup. It's always easier to say that after a guy comes out and splashes a three, but I kid you not, pre-production, he was already a guy that you knew would make some noise here in this matchup. Makes it 3-2. Trying to answer back with the mid-range jumper. It's off the mark. Rebound in traffic. Pass ahead, had a lot of air under it. And it's just too easy there. That's Mo Merritt trying to get the momentum on the side of North Cobb Christian, and Coach Tobin is going to get an early timeout. Didn't like what he saw there, so you look at this, he lost the handle momentarily. It has to be nice to go from losing the handle to just with the push of a button, easy two-hand slam there for Mo Merritt. Makes it 5-2 in favor of North Cobb Christian. 6:55 remaining here in the first. Merritt, a 6'7" senior transfer. And North Cobb Christian now after playing ball at Sprayberry. Five to 2. We'll see how the Canes respond out of that Coach Tobin timeout. Jumper, no good. Rebound pulled out of there, looking to convert it into O, but he'll wisely slow it up. That was Miles Hamilton on the rebound. Demir Brown cannot get his second three-pointer of the contest. Some contact inside, playing through it. That's what some of that travel ball is very good at helping you do. That's number 11, Jalen Pugh. Pugh, a player to watch on the Cartersville side of things. 5'10" guard, was Region Player of the Year in his sophomore year. Got to finish on the other end and make it 5-4, but now we'll have Demir Brown at the line. Brown takes the first free throw. Splits the pair, and it'll be 6-4. Cartersville appearing to be in better shape since that timeout. A couple moments ago, Brown can't get the shot to go. That'll be an easy lay-in on the other end for Dante Bryan. Bryan comes up with a quick steal. Finally, Mo Merritt grabs the loose ball. North Cobb Christian, second three-pointer of the contest, and each time they splash, they leave the net hanging up on the rim. This time it's number 23, young Will Crumley. As we got nets on both sides. I've covered a lot of basketball. I think this is the first time I've seen a net hanging on the rim on one end, and then you come back in the next possession, the other team splashes it up on the net on their end as well. I'm sure that's happened somewhere. But just in all the gyms, games, events, and tournaments we've covered, that's an SUVtv first. Courtesy of North Cobb Christian in Cartersville here at the Georgia Elite 8 Tip-Off Classic, an inaugural event. That will definitely be a fun one to tune into here in the Atlanta area year in and year out. Run by the AOT basketball program led by Omar Cooper and Damon Wilson. Hosted here at the newly renovated McEachern High School Gymnasium. For those that haven't been on site here at McEachern, it is a treat. They get a lot of buzz for the college-style press box and football stadium that they have here. The hoops facilities not very far behind. Either the talent on the basketball side of things. Have a foul there. Namir Brown earns another trip to the free throw line. Good level of activity early on. Got in the scorebooks with the triple. Since then, he's had a couple trips to the line. Basket's good for Brown, makes it 9-9. Under the 5-minute mark, give me that inside. Mo Merritt with the block. 10-9 ball game. Brown gonna try a transition triple, no good. Merritt, another rebound. Weight room move inside, and now he will go to the free throw line. You look on paper and on the floor, I think some of the size advantage inside is going to be something that North Cobb Christian could take advantage of. You've seen them do it so far in this game with Mo Merritt able to get to the glass on both ends. Again, Brown potentially be a handful all day here for Cartersville. Looks like Jalen Pugh will be called there for the violation on the free throw. First contest, it was Meadow Creek that got a victory over Heritage. Solid games from both Jameer Chaplin and Corey Hightower for Meadow Creek. Big fella trying to get his second three-pointer of the game. No good. We'll have a tie-up. Actually, a foul call. I'm just going to go against Miles Hamilton. One-point game in favor of North Cobb Christian. Here's Jalen Pugh. Pugh has it knocked away. Good defense there by Hamilton. You see Coach Mike Tobin there for Cartersville. Coach Tobin played basketball and baseball at Southwest State University. Very impressive coaching resume. You look at 24 years as a head coach at Woodland, Eden Prairie, and Cartersville. He's amassed close to 500 wins, 7 region titles, 4 region championships at Cartersville alone, as well as an Elite 8 appearance mixed in there. So Demir Brown at the line now. Turnover. I think you're going to see more of those than normal. The second week in November is always a time where the rosters have been finalized and teams are ready to get the season rolling, but there's always some rust. And it's a natural gelling that has to occur, and it only occurs with getting more games under your belt with the season. Tip-off classics like this are a perfect match for teams being able to shake the cobwebs off, but also get some good bump in the meantime. Isaac Gritley has it. Now get it out top. Deep three-pointer. No good. Nobody boxes out, though. Taking advantage of that is number 20. No 20 listed on my roster, so I'll have to get that for you. You know that man's name, though. Demir Brown. This time has a chance for the three-point play the hard way. Brown was 6A All-Region Player of the Year for the 2015-2016 season. Has some recruiting interest from Division I and Division II levels. He's going to get a breather. And we'll have a timeout on the floor, so we'll take a timeout with them. When we get back, we will bring you more Georgia Elite 8 Tip-Off Classic action live from McEachern.
I got a high ankle sprain going for a rebound.
Injuries are part of playing.
I got hit catching a pass and broke my collarbone.
So it's good to know that the sports medicine doctors, therapists, and athletic trainers at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta are experts at treating young athletes. If your child suffers any kind of sports-related injury,
I got hit and dislocated my shoulder.
bring him to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
And back to the action here out of the timeout. 4-point game in favor of North Cobb Christian. That shot a little too strong. Rebound brought down by Will Crumley. Looked like they were going to call a double dribble there, but I think the officials realized that the ball was tipped, so just nullified the whistle. It's time for everybody to get loose, not just the teams. Officials trying to get rolling for the season as well, trying to get up and down, be the best at their craft. Talked about the potential problem that Mo Merritt could be on the inside for Cartersville. He's bringing some of those problems to fruition here in the first quarter. 6-point game. That triple will cut the deficit in half. Number 23, that's Isaac Gritley. Gridley makes it a 3-point game. Cobb Christian being patient. Pretty good defense from Cartersville here this possession. Hunter Norman. Norman stripped by Jalen Pugh. And a foul is called just when it looked like Pugh was off to the races. Penalty situation, so we're going to have a trip to the free throw line here for Hunter Norman. Norman misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Jump step and the floater by Perinon Dyer. Dyer's little teardrop makes it 16-17. They'll work it to Brown. Now give him a little bit of space to work. Falling off the back leg, too strong on the shot. Johnny on the spot, AKA Hunter Norman, as that's just an easy steal there for Mo Merritt. Bucket by Norman. Steve Nash-like caught his defender off guard. Extended that left arm out, no need to bring a second hand to it. Just the layup in stride amidst the contact makes it 16-21. Just the back end. Six-point lead for North Cobb Christian. Mo Merritt, I wouldn't be surprised if he has double-digit rebounds already. Full head of steam. That young man right there is going to be a problem, Demir Brown. You have to stop ball before it gets to that point if you're Cartersville. I think we all realize that one looked like a bucket by the time he hit the free throw line. Coach Mata has to like the start for one of his standouts here so far. Greg Mata, brother of Thad Mata, head coach for Ohio State University. I almost said the Ohio State University, but then my Purdue fandom there in the Big Ten kicked in. Can't put the D in front of it. Just call it Ohio State. Special shout out to Kyle Sandy. He is the man with the plan when it comes to high school hoops coverage in the state of Georgia. Ton of write-ups. You see a lot of teams on SUVtv throughout the course of a season. He actually wrote previews on each team in the state. Check out Sandy's spiel for that. Probably have him as a guest here on SUVtv a couple times throughout the season as well. 6-point contest headed to the free throw line is Crumley. Actually, my apologies, that's Isaac Gridley there. Gridley missed a free throw. Hunter Norman from the corner. He's picked a nice time to elevate his play here at the end of this first quarter. He's got 5 points over the past few minutes. And that will do it for the first quarter. It is a 9-point advantage. North Cobb Christian threatening to take this thing in the double digits. We'll be back with more Georgia Elite 8 Tip-Off Classic.
If you want a used vehicle, but you also want peace of mind, you want a Ford certified pre-owned vehicle. Because every Ford CPO vehicle is given a rigorous 172-point inspection by Ford factory-trained technicians. From the radiator to the transmission, to the engine, to the air conditioning. And every Ford CPO vehicle is backed by Ford with 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty coverage. Plus 12-month, 12,000-mile limited warranty coverage. Ford Certified Pre-Owned, a car that's inspected by Ford and backed by Ford. So what does that mean to you? Relax, it's covered.
Welcome back here to McEachern High School, site of the Georgia Elite 8 Tip-Off Classic. And tipping things off mighty nicely for North Cobb Christian so far has been Mo Merritt. He's been solid on the boards. Heavy dose of glass has been on the menu for him. The way he's rebounded the ball and helped turn that into offense for North Cobb Christian. Looks like he'll get called for the foul there. Mentioned a few related subjects earlier in the webcast. This event put on by Omar Cooper in OT basketball. Anybody that knows McEachern High School, that last name of Cooper, thought that was just going to be a nice pass for Hunter Norman. They had alley-oop intentions all the way as Demir Brown is able to catch it and flush it home. Hunter Norman continuing to make plays here. Scored 5 points there to end the half, in the first quarter, I should say, there with the nice dime. Demir Brown with the finish. Brown misses from the corner. Lead now 8 from North Cobb Christian. One will be knocked out of play. 21-29, Cartersville trailing by 8. Still on 1, and then the conversion, that was interference. Overzealous on that one was Cameron Whitfield. Good hustle, but couldn't leave that one alone. We'll go back over to North Cobb Christian and Hunter Norman. Norman and Brown. They want to go inside to Merritt, but too much space on that three-point attempt. His first three-point make. Pushes the lead to 11. Initially, they had gotten the ball into Dante Bryant. It was he versus 6'6", 6'7" Demir Brown. If he had a score at that one, that would have been worth a replay. That's the second time. Hey, you got to leave that net alone, Will Crumley. You're affecting the flow of the event. We got to keep taking 2, 3, 5 seconds to stop and fix the net. You can keep hitting threes. Just let the net drop. Crumley playing well so far. Makes it a 14-point advantage. Cartersville staying within striking distance. That one floated up and in by Isaac Gridley. Brown wants it inside. Weight room. They're going to have to switch that matchup up. Thought Dante Bryant being on Brown was just something that happened through the process of a switch or two, but they've got Bryant guarding them on both ends. This time it's Cameron Whitfield. Whitfield with the triple. Make it 26-37. Norman to Brown. Couldn't see if that was a traveling violation or 3 in the key. Ball goes over to Cartersville, and they still have Dante Bryan guarding Demir Brown. There's no disrespect to Bryan. I'm sure Coach Tobin is giving him that assignment for reasons I might not know, but it's still a tough task. Two-headed monster on the inside. Head number 2, Mo Merritt, getting another score to make it a 13-point contest. That one was shot from the Loving Good Arena symbol. Southpaw triple there by Jalen Pugh. Mentioned the Region Player of the Year. He averaged around 16 points per game, about 4 assists. How to seize the floor well. Again, that's going to be lunch meat inside each time. Give Cartersville credit there. They were able to keep Brown from scoring. But again, he had 2 point-blank looks right there on top of the rim. I know it's easier said than done in terms of finding somebody that's better suited to be able to guard him and contend with his size inside. Bryan able to keep that one in bounds. Helter-skelter sequence here. Who's going to come up with it is Demir Brown. Brown ahead to Hamilton. Hamilton. Silky. Miles Hamilton makes it a 12-point contest. So the cat and mouse game continues, even though Cartersville has been able to get buckets here and there. It's been more of a trade versus them getting points on one end and being able to stop North Cobb Christian on the other. So Pugh heads to the line. Mo Merritt will have a seat there for North Cobb Christian. Coming in his place, number 50, Caleb Crumley. Just inside the elbow. Didn't look like a shot Demir Brown wanted to take there. And that's what Cartersville has to do. He had a full head of steam, was looking to get to the rack. They were able to stop ball early on in the game. He was getting downhill way too easily. That one could have been a potential 4-point play, and a late whistle, but still the correct whistle, as Miles Hamilton will go to the line for the 4-point play. Every 4-point play is the hard way, not an easy thing to get. And you see the contact, you see the finish. Can't get the free throw to go, so it'll stay right there at a triple. 30-44. Now 32-44. Cartersville answers back. Norman showing off the mid-range as well. He's got a triple. He's went to the rack. This time showing that the mid-range is not a lost start as far as Hunter Norman is concerned. That dribble pull-up pushes the lead back to 14. As the margin has hovered right between 11 to 14 points here for the majority of the first half. Coach Tobin in Cartersville, you love to be able to go into the locker room at halftime just chasing a single-digit deficit. We look forward to seeing Mo Merritt's rebound totals here for the first half. Demir Brown continues to eat barbecue chicken inside. Another deep three-pointer right there in that area, and this could be our second four-point play, or attempted four-point play. Hamilton had a shot, couldn't get the free throw to go. Here we're going to have Jalen Pugh with a chance to get the front end and the back end. You see that one right by the arrow. It symbolizes Loving Good Arena. Seems like nobody wants a four-point play today. Missing the back end free throw. Baseline drive and the reverse. Going to a strong hand there is Demir Brown. A 50-point first half already here for North Cobb Christian. The Hunter Norman show continues. You don't have to put him there in a starring role, but he's making sure his stars eat. Making sure Demir Brown and Mo Merritt get rewarded for what they're doing defensively and on the glass. Here's Norman right now. Another one to Brown. And we probably see a timeout here if it wasn't so close to halftime, as this lead is threatening to get put on Dubs. 35-54. Now Bryan, he's going to try to work against Brown. Dante Bryan showing good resolve inside. Even though Brown has gotten the better of that matchup, it hasn't been for a lack of effort or just a cakewalk. You know, Bryan is making contact with him when he crosses half court, trying to make him work inside as much as he can. Even having enough gas in the tank to finish a tough bucket there on the other end, but still a 17-point game. We are under the minute mark. Quick hands there by Bryan. Bounce pass ahead. That one a little bit too much English on it. As it sputters out of bounds, and a wasted opportunity there. Being down 15, a lot better than 17. Obviously the 2 points in the right direction, but 17 just feels like 20. Much better benefit of the doubt. You can make it 15 or possibly get a stop and cut the gap even more. Looks like North Cobb Christian is going to hold for the last shot here, but a turnover. I've never been able to do that little layup over the rim there on a fast break. I got to use the glass for that reason right there. When it kicks off, not only is it a missed layup, but you're not in a position to rebound. I would much rather put my faith in that window pane there on the layup. So the officials are touching base here. Not sure if they'll put some additional time on the clock there after the call. Still touching base there with the scores table. So 3 seconds on the clock. At the line there is number 4, Tywan Johnson. Merritt, a catch and a heave, and that is going to do it for the first half. Appreciate you joining us here at the Georgia Elite 8 Tip-Off Classic. It is a 39-54 ball game. The Eagles are soaring here against Cartersville. We'll be back with more coverage after this halftime break.
You're not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to get out of your neighborhood. You're not supposed to believe you can do it. Yeah, you were told you were going to be one of the greats. They told so many others the same thing. You're not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to pass the ball so much. Or play like a giant. No matter what. You're not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to play 40 minutes and make up 40 feet and make a defensive play. A defining moment in your career. You're not even supposed to be here. And yet, here you are.
You want a used vehicle, but you also want peace of mind? You want a Ford certified pre-owned vehicle. Because every Ford CPO vehicle is given a rigorous 172-point inspection by Ford factory-trained technicians. From the radiator to the transmission, to the engine, to the air conditioning. And every Ford CPO vehicle is backed by Ford with 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty coverage. Plus 12-month, 12,000-mile limited warranty coverage. Ford certified pre-owned. A car that's inspected by Ford and backed by Ford. So what does that mean to you? Relax, it's covered.
great atmosphere going on here at the Georgia Elite Tip-Off Classic. Thanks for joining us here on SUVtv. It's basketball season, ladies and gentlemen. I love playing fantasy football just like the rest of them, but it's nothing like hoop season when you've got all levels in full swing, high school, college, and pro. College has gotten going off over the course of the past weekend. Pro in full swing as well. Some great college games going on. You had Indiana, Kansas, Arizona, Michigan State, just to name a couple. Saw some former SUVtv participants or players that have been able to be featured on here throughout high school. It's always nice to see them doing what they do there at the collegiate level. Kobe Simmons had a great game for Arizona, the freshman yesterday. Miles Bridges was on several times with Huntington Prep, continuing to show he's a beast at the collegiate level. Also, Jalen Pugh gets the first points of the second half, and Demir Brown doesn't take him long to follow suit. He had 22 points there in the first half, did Demir Brown. And I think Pugh's had enough of it. As he went, and a lot of times you'll see guys score the ball when it comes out of the rim, they'll throw it over to the referee. Well, Pugh gave it right back to Brown. Let's go. Pugh looking to lead by example. They start this second half. No sir, says Mo Merritt. Mo comes up with the block. Merritt had 8 points there in the first half, along with just as many rebounds. (43-56). Brown with the rebound. He's going to pull up. It's been one of the few shots that he hasn't hit here in this game. That's been that dribble pull-up. He's made jumpers from that range after starting off with his back to the basket. But he's been too strong on the pull-up the few times that he shot it, but he hasn't had very many areas in the miss column, very many tallies in the miss column so far here in this game. They work it inside to him, 2 jerseys around him, so what? Another bucket for Brown. Cartersville three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound snatched out of there by Miles Hamilton. He'll push it ahead to Hunter Norman, who is having a good game as well. Merritt and Brown jumping off the screen and off the page early on, but Hunter Norman has done a great job being the straw that stirs the drink, if you will. A little bit of frustration there by Pugh as he's trying to create turnovers, put a run together that can help Cartersville cut this double-digit deficit. Easier said than done. Pugh's going to sit for a few minutes. Actually, he might not even sit for a full minute. He's right back at the scorer's table. Getting a courtside seat of another splash three-pointer for number 23, Will Crumley. Crumley, he's got 3 three-pointers so far here in the contest. Pushes the lead to 18. I'd say the lowest the lead has been over the past 12 to 15 minutes of gameplay. It's been 11 or 12 points. Each time Cartersville has gotten it to a manageable 10 to 12 points, Cobb Christian has responded, getting it into the teens. Crumley going to try another triple. Can't get it to go. Hamilton fighting for the rebound, but it's Dante Bryan that'll come away with it. Brown called for the foul there. Had both of those arms extended. Got two hands on the ball handler's back. It's going to be an easy call for the official, even though there wasn't a lot of contact. Situation framed perfectly for the foul call. Pugh, a man on a mission. Left that one just short. Think Hamilton might have gotten a hand on it. Turnovers. Ryan and Merritt collide, but they give it right back. Crumley, he's got Brown and Merritt with him. Dunk won't stay down for Brown. Bryan gonna try a three-pointer. Hand and face. No good, but the offensive rebound. 2 for $1 sale on threes. Still can't cash in. And looks like Hunter Norman will be called for the foul there on the rebound attempt. But one point that was interrupted due to some stellar plays there in the first half. Talked about event organizer Omar Cooper, his daughter Taya Cooper. Probably go down as the best player to come through the McEachern High School girls basketball program. Talk about a clutch player there during her high school career. You won't find one more clutch than Taya Cooper. Currently playing for the University of Tennessee. That pass was telegraphed, stolen by Isaac Gridley. Coach Tobin, it's been won't call it a frustrating game because I think some of these early season pains, I think coaches expect a certain amount of them anytime you're playing this early in the year. Not to say they encourage it, but it's something to be expected. But it doesn't help when North Cobb Christian has, 50-plus points there in the first half. So while your team is taking a while to get going, due to some of the matchups out there on the floor, North Cobb Christian has just had a much easier time of scoring the ball. Big reason, Demir Brown was already working on 30-plus points probably before we go into the fourth quarter. And then players like Mo Merritt and Hunter Norman that have played great complementary roles in terms of backing up the scoring by Brown. So Pugh with the ball, being guarded by Hamilton. Gets it to Gridley. Knew that was going to be a tough shot for him as it's blocked by the long arm of Will Crumley. Lead now 18 for North Cobb Christian. Cartersville hasn't let it get totally out of hand. The largest lead has been 19 points. Cameron Whitfield pulls them to within 16. Three from the corner for Demir Brown. Money gets an attaboy on the way back down there from Greg Mata. You saw Mata just, Coach Mata has coached a lot of good players throughout the years. You look at players like Kendall Crute, Stephon Jelks, Hunter Ware, Trey Kalina. Just some of the talent that's come through North Cobb Christian. There are guys that are playing college ball at the next level. And he has to feel very good about what Demir Brown is bringing to the table. Here in this one, Brown with one man to beat, loses the handle, so he'll go back. Thought it might be a heat check. He will. Ice cream. As I think Coach might have, I'm not sure if Coach might have liked that shot because it looked like he said something to Demir right before he shot it. And Demir kind of gave him, it was like a little bit of Jamie Foxx, Al Pacino in any given Sunday. Except Demir Brown didn't throw up when he first got out there on the floor, and it appears that their relationship is definitely not as rocky as Willie Beeman and the coach there in any given Sunday. I say all that to say Demir Brown is making plays out there, feeling good, feeling great. Thought it might be a case of study long, study wrong with that last three-pointer, but he was right on the money, tickled the twine, then comes in, gets an easy layup. He's already over the 30-point by now. Something about shooting from those arrows for Jalen Pugh as he knocks down another triple, trying to do anything to make sure his team stays within striking distance, but relatively speaking, they are getting smaller and smaller in that rearview mirror. Driven by North Cobb Christian right now, but still within 19. With positioning and rebound brought down by Gridley. Here's Brian. It's Coach Tobin mixing in some players, making sure everybody gets some minutes. Also trying to keep his players fresh for the potential comeback. Brian hits the deck, and he's called for the travel. Coach Tobin applauding the effort as Brian gets back on defense. Lee's now 19. Looks like we might see a little bit of a 2-3 zone. Demir Brown misses the first, adds a rebound to the stat sheet, and lays it in. Now I know this could be a little outlandish, but I think we could very well see a 50-point game here by Demir Brown. He went into the locker room at halftime with 22 points. I know he's already got at least about 12 points, 12 to 15 points here in the third. But it's a splash from the corner by Tywan Johnson. I think the only thing in this game that might keep Demir Brown from getting a 50 ball or 50-piece nugget out there might be not playing all of the fourth quarter. But for the overwhelming majority of this game, he's come, he's seen, and he's conquered. And it hasn't been because of a lack of effort on the defensive end by Cartersville. It's just from a personnel standpoint, it's a very tough player for them to guard. So we'll have 3 free throws coming for number 2, Myson Lowe. Lead now 22 points. We approach the last remnant of the third quarter. The third quarter is in the books. North Cobb Christian in the driver's seat. We'll see if it will stay that way as we get ready for the fourth.
You're not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to get out of your neighborhood. You're not supposed to believe you can do it. Yeah, you were told you were going to be one of the greats. But they told so many others the same thing. You're not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to pass the ball so much. Or play like a giant. No matter what. You're not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to play 40 minutes and make up 40 feet and make a defensive play, a defining moment in your career. You're not even supposed to be here. And yet, here you are.
Fourth quarter underway here at the Georgia Elite 8 Tip-Off Classic. Jalen Pugh misses a three. If any comeback is in the cards here, the three ball will be a big part of it. As there's a good portion of deficit to erase. And what sounds like nonsense in terms of Demir Brown possibly being able to score 50 here in this contest is probably not going to come to fruition now, as he is on the bench to start the fourth quarter and probably won't play much here in the fourth, as Coach Mata will take an opportunity to get some minutes in for the full squad. Seeing both coaches take this game as an opportunity to get everybody some minutes. Start the season off right if you're North Cobb Christian. You're in a great position to start the season off with a win if you're Cartersville. How you continue to fight can have an impact on how you approach the next week and couple weeks of the season. Nice bucket there, wheeling and dealing, is Mason Lowe. Coast to coast, too strong on the potential layup attempt. That one's beat out of there by Critley. Three from the corner. Pass over to Pugh. Pugh gets the step, goes baseline. Loses the handle there as he ascended. Timeout on the floor as you look in, see Coach Tobin touching base with his squad. So we'll take a timeout with them. When we get back, we'll bring you more Georgia Elite 8 Tip-Off Classic.
Every day is another beginning. Gonna make my move, gonna live my dream. Gonna make my move, gonna live my dream. Gonna make my move, gonna live my dream.
Jared Cook Classic will be on SUVtv November 19th, 21st, and the 22nd. Be sure to tune in there, as it always has a good collection of Georgia-based teams, as well as a couple outliers. Lee will be over from Alabama. Good basketball for a good cause there in the Jared Cook Classic. As far as the Georgia Elite 8 Tip-Off Classic is concerned, Game 2 of a 5-game slate today. Meadow Creek victorious over Heritage in the opening game. Tough shot, passed up the 3 to take a 2 with a couple hands in face. Another block inside. This time it is Isaac Gritley. Knocks that one out of play. Carrying on, Dyer. Towards for the lay-in. Thought Gritley might have had another block to hit him for the foul on this one. That'll send number 15, Nate Perrin, to the line. November 25th through the 26th, you can catch Holiday Hoopsgiving live on SUVtv. That event gets better and better every year. Christopher Williams and his wife Tiffany do a great job with that event. They had a plan to bring great high school basketball to the Atlanta area. They're just after Thanksgiving, and in his third year, Holiday Hoopsgiving is already listed as one of the top tournaments in the country. So mission accomplished, and you can catch some great games on SUVtv November 25th and the 26th. One great matchup will be Colin Sexton, the recent University of Alabama commit. He will take on Trayvon Duval in that IMG versus Pebblebrook matchup that you do not want to miss. Get there, catch it in person, and please get there early if you do so. It has been known to have a standing room only crowd. If you can't make it or you're out of town, SUVtv, you're more than welcome to join us. And on that and one for North Cobb Christian there, that was number 50, Caleb Crumley. Three from the corner there by Dante Bryan. Coming up on the final 3 minutes. Foul on the play, so we'll have free throws. Our next matchup is going to feature Berkmar taking on Fertall Prep. That Berkmar squad has a guard core that can potentially be one of the funnest to watch in the state. Not throwing that superlative out there in terms of the funnest. We have a lot of good backcourts here in the Peach State, but preseason is any indication, as well as the travel season and just the outlook coming into this year. The trio of Zach Cooks, Jay Estime, and Indiana commit Al Durham could be a very fun one to watch. You can see what I mean for yourself at 4:30 as we'll tip off Berkmar versus Fertall Prep. Weight room move, the N1, number 22, that's May Lang. Jalen Pugh at the line. Pugh, a perennial region, first team region member. bet Cartersville's overall input for this season, or output for this season, will be much better than this opening game. You can say that with a lot of teams. That's why it's the beginning of the season. Teams get to work kinks out. Remember a Norcross team a few years back, coached there by Jesse McMillan over at Norcross, started off the season 0-6. Now it was 0-6 with a lot of talent. A lot of naysayers early on in that season, guys piling stuff on, but as they went on, they got better and better. Used the season for what it was for in terms of getting closer as a team, but also using competition to get better at your craft. They ended up winning state that year here in Georgia and beat a Milton team that was loaded. Milton team led by Shannon Scott, McDonald's All-American, went on to play at Ohio State. That squad also had Dejon Parker, rest in peace, one of the more athletic and better defenders to come through the state. Had Julian Royal, had Evan Nolte. I believe Shaq Johnson, I think Shaq Johnson might have come to Milton that next year, but a loaded Milton squad defeated by Norcross there in that season in the state championship. And again, that Norcross squad started off 0-6. So point being is no need for knee-jerk reactions with opening games or really opening weeks. All about how teams get better over the course of a season. It's Joshua Reed at the free throw line. Number 20 with the bucket there. Not listed in my roster. Apologies there. Final seconds off the clock. North Cobb Christian starts the season 1-0 as they pick up a victory over Cartersville. We'll be back with more Georgia Elite 8 Tip-Off Classic coverage. Fertile Prep versus Berkmar up next.
Every day is another beginning. Gonna make my move, gonna live my dream. Gonna make my move, gonna live my dream. Gonna make my move, gonna live my dream.